It's so upsetting to me. Yeah. And I just hope people respond. Well, are there other things you wanted to deal with this morning?
There absolutely are. And you mentioned one of them, the idea that conservatives want to keep abortion off the ballot in 2024. And this speaks to a couple of different things to me. One, of course, is the tactical political approach that they realize that when people actually have the question of whether women's reproductive freedom is something they want on the ballot, they respond with a resounding yes. Of course, we want women to have reproductive freedom. There's no question about that. And of course, for that reason, they want to keep it away from the ballot. They want to keep it away from the voice of the people. And it speaks to me to a much larger issue, which is the fact that fundamentally, in this day and age, the Republican Party is essentially undemocratic, that they desperately want to slice and dice and gerrymander votes away from individuals in individual states is one tactic that they use. Reduce the number of ballot measures wherever possible, because they realize that the American people do not support their views by and large. And so democracy is not a thing that they care for. And so the
Republican Party needs to be reclaimed.
Absolutely. It needs to change.
Now, look, I have shelves of books on the history of the Republican Party. I have watched Republican leaders over many years who've stood up to interests that would have, done what Donald Trump has done. The time has come for the Republican Party to pull itself together and react. The tragedy is that there is no courage in the Republican Party.
Right.
And
that's why they're shying away from the ballot.
Rights. But let me be crystal clear. If anybody tried to tell you or tried to tell me what we could do with our body, we would tell them to take a flying leap.
Yes.
And if I were a woman, I would do exactly the same thing. And that's why men and women united have to understand it. And I believe that the verdict of the American people in November of 2024 will be a resounding rejection. I think the Republicans are going to lose the House and the Senate, and deservedly so. One other quick point has to do with the impeachment of Joe Biden. I've been involved
yes, that farce.
Viewed again as an expert on impeachment. Many of you know, heard me on many national broadcasts. The so-called impeachment inquiry against Joe Biden is one of the most irresponsible uses of impeachment that I've ever heard. And it has no place. If there is a criminal case to be brought against Hunter Biden, let it be brought and let Hunter Biden be convicted. And he may well be. I've never defended Hunter Biden. And for those who say, well, you never talked about it on the air, nonsense. We talked about it repeatedly in the late presidential campaign. When it comes to the question of impeaching a president, there better be grounds. And yes. I'm sick and tired of the Republicans saying, we have the grounds, we have everything. I listened to some of them talking on Fox, and I'm absolutely appalled because there is no evidence. There is no smoking gun. And this is pure retribution. The idea that Donald Trump was impeached twice, first over the question of Ukraine, where he did interfere and where the Russians did interfere in the election, and there's no question about that. And then the question of January 6th, and the Republicans don't think that was a legitimate reason.
There were so many grounds in both instances there, and yet because they desperately want to impeach President Biden, they're moving forward with it without any grounds whatsoever. They cannot formulate any rationale for doing so.
Yes, they can. There are make-up stories about the Biden family, the crime family, as they call it, with all this
It's so specious,
okay.
and as well we both know.
Put the evidence before the American people.
Right.
And when Hunter Biden, who obviously had a sickness, a terrible addiction, and did terrible things,
right.
When Hunter Biden agreed to come to the Senate and testify before the Senate and the House, he had no hesitation, but he wasn't going to do it in private. He said, you want to interrogate me? Do it in public. And what did the Republicans do? They walked away. And then they say they're going to cite Hunter Biden for contempt of Congress. Give me a break. The people who have contempt for Congress are the Republicans, for God's sake.
The Republican members of Congress. And indeed, if we had a President Hunter Biden, which we do not, their words might be pertinent. Unfortunately, it's Joe Biden who's president. And frankly, that is a completely separate issue of whether, Hunter Biden has done anything wrong. He may well have, and he may well be prosecuted for that. But the question is, as president of the United States, did Joe Biden do something wrong? I have not seen any proof of that at all.
No, and by the way, when President Trump, former President Trump, talks about the January 6th hostages, which is what he did last night, right, I was appalled. Those people broke the law.
Yeah.
They tried to violate our right to elect a president.
Yeah.
These things continue to grow, and whether you're looking at Giuliani or you're looking at Trump or you're looking at the rhetoric that's being used, enough is enough. And I don't say this lightly. I believe that we are fighting for the soul of America now.
Yes.
And so we have to.
Yeah, we absolutely do. And God bless you, John, for maintaining your watch on those right-wing sources that cover the president.
This isn't right-wing or left-wing. Let me tell you, if I wanted to talk about Robert Kennedy Jr., I'd talk about someone who is theoretically on the left, who has gone off the deep end.
Yeah.
And who, if his name were not Robert Kennedy Jr., he'd be nowhere.
Indeed.
But this is the kind of thing which shouldn't be partisan. And may I say, I know we've got to conclude this, and I hate ending with you, Beowulf, because I enjoy you each week. This is not partisanship, ladies and gentlemen. This is being a loyal American. This is understanding that you can disagree on issues, and you can agree on issues. It's fine. But the minute you cross a line which threatens the very existence of the American system, then it ceases to be partisan. And if you disagree with me, for God's sake, tell Beowulf, and then he'll convey it to me, and we'll talk about it again.
We will have to take some callers here one of these days on Facepalm America, which is something that we can do. So I will organize that, and we will have some interaction with some of our listeners. I think that's an excellent idea. And John, you're absolutely right. It is not a matter of a contest between Democrats and Republicans. It's a matter of a fight between democracy and authoritarianism. That is the fundamental conflict of our time.
You've got it. Beowulf, before we conclude, may I wish you the happiest of holiday seasons.
Thank you so much.
I know that next week is Christmas Day. The following week is New Year's Day. I know you're going to make some adjustments in the schedule.
Yes.
I will be with you next week, if not on these prescribed Mondays. Maybe it'll be Tuesday. So, remember Tuesday with Maury? It'll be whatever day it is. But we will continue the discussion. And again, ladies and gentlemen, please join me on Around the Political World with John Rothmann.
Yes.
There is no charge. It's free of charge. We now have over 100,000 downloads. It's growing every day. And again, I don't care if you agree or disagree with me. I want the discourse. I want the discussion. And thank you, Beowulf, for allowing me to I don't have to pay a psychiatrist, ladies and gentlemen. Do you know why?
Because
Beowulf Rothmann every week.
Because as with the Lucy and the Peanuts cartoons, the doctor is in, and it doesn't even cost the 5 cents that she charges. Fortunately, absolutely. Around the Political World with John Rothmann, and for those of you who check into a podcast, every week when it gets posted, you needn't worry about that with John Rothmann, because Monday through Friday, and more often than that, frequently, you can get his thoughts and analysis every day. So any podcast platform that you can get me on, you can get John Rothmann on. Around the Political World with John Rothmann. Please go there.
10 minutes of your day. That's all I ask.
Exactly. While you're drinking your coffee. It's easily done. John Rothmann, thank you so much for being with us again on Facebook.
And to your family, please, a very happy holiday.
And to yours as well, John. Thank you so much. All the best.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Again, I want to thank you for being here on Facepalm America. And you can go to facepalmamerica.com to listen to past episodes, connect with us on social media, and you can message or call us at any time, 202-656-6271. I want to thank Ace Elson and Rosabelle Hine, who are the producers of this program. And until next time, enjoy the day.